Hey, Scruffy. How you doing? Oh, coming in. Wow. It didn't rain today. And it's not any colder than it's been. Didn't think you'd be motivated to step inside today. Okay. So I have, let's see, your hearty cuts with real turkey, kibble, and real turkey. Okay, so... Okay. Put the food on the table. And... glove on. Okay. So, yeah, we got a break in the weather. I think the rain's supposed to start again tomorrow. And I think it's maybe 3 days of rain. And then I can't remember if there... So I know there's a fourth rain cloud on the forecast. And I can't remember if there was a break in between or not. But the weather report probably changed, so... But yeah, I don't know how severe the rain's going to be. So the last couple days have been pretty intense, especially for this area. And then the few days before that was really intense. So yeah, I'm surprised at how much rain we got. So we've been in drought for a really long time, so we really need the rain. I hope they might relax some of the water rationing after this is all done. Because I mentioned that they really screwed me on the water rationing because they did it on a per month basis based on your usage from a few years ago. And it happens that that year we were spending a lot of time at the hospital, like the emergency room for my dad. So we weren't here at the house certain months, and our water usage went almost non-existent. So we still came back to sleep, but pretty much that's it. So there was a little bit of water usage, but not much. And but they don't care, and so they said, "Oh, you use that much water, so you got to cut." I forgot what it was. Cut 20% or 40% or whatever based on that number. And it's like, well, we barely used anything. It's like, well, we don't care. So I filed an appeal, and they rejected my appeal. So I've been kind of hosed with certain months. So I went out for a bike ride today because I wanted to check out the water levels at the creek that I bike near. So there's a creek that goes through the park that I usually bike at, and it's usually pretty close to dry. There's usually a little water, but not a lot. But I think I went there a week or two ago, and I was really surprised at how much water was in there. I haven't seen it that full in years. I think I was guessing it was somewhere between 2/3 to 3/4 full. But yeah, the rain was so intense the past couple days. I was wondering if I was actually worried about flooding. So I know other Oh, Scruffy almost scratched me, I think. He didn't scratch, so I'm going to let that slide. So, I forgot what I was saying, but I wanted to check out the creeks because, yeah, I was worried or thinking they might flood. No, I think I was saying that, yeah, there are certain, in this region, there are warnings about flooding, and I know sandbags were being offered, and they ran out. So I was starting to get a little worried about the creek that's kind of near me. I'm kind of far enough away that unless it's like a really, 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 really bad storm, I'm thinking like one of those 100-year flood type situations that I'm probably okay. But you never know when that 100 years is going to run up. So yeah, so I was curious, and then yeah, I found out the online tracking isn't set up to monitor that particular creek. So they haven't finished installing, I guess, the remote monitors, at least for the public. So anyway, so I went for my bike ride today, and first I passed by. It's kind of a fork of the creek. That it's the part that comes closest to where I live, but it's actually not the main body. So I think in order to go down this part of the creek, it's actually a smaller fork, so it branches off. The main body, the main water flow goes a different direction, and then a little bit flows into this side fork. And so I looked in the fork, and it was almost bone dry. There was a little water, but it was all stagnant. It wasn't even flowing. So I guess I don't have anything to worry about, at least from that part, because yeah, that's not going to flood anytime soon. um, and then I went to the main body, which runs through the park. The park was closed again, but the sign says hazardous conditions, so they didn't reopen. But I did look at the creek because it actually flows out of the park, and then you can see it from there. And honestly, I don't I don't think I could tell the difference between the water levels today versus last week. It still looks to me about the same. I wasn't paying close enough attention to really know. It's still looks pretty full, relatively speaking, but there's still space that can get higher without spilling onto the surface level or the streets or whatever. So flooding is not imminent. So even with hopefully with the next 3 days of rain, I think it's probably not going to overflow it. Probably, never know. If it's a really severe storm, it could, but. He's doing a hard rub there. I'm gonna get Scruffy's food. Ready for food? Okay. So let's see. Actually, I didn't see much of Scruffy today. Just saw him at lunch. Didn't see him this morning. Didn't see him this afternoon. I didn't check out last night to see if he was sleeping on top of the shelter. I got busy with other things and didn't get around to it. I was actually kind of busy today, especially this morning. So, yeah, so I think we had a fairly typical lunch. Looked like he was waiting for me. I didn't see him from the window, but when I opened the blinds, he was kind of line of sight. Hey, Scruffy. I didn't see you through the window. Waiting there long? So yeah, sun came out. Stopped raining today. So get a reprieve for at least today. So I didn't check to see if we were in the shelter or not. I kind of assume you're not. I kind of assume you're on top of the shelter now. Okay, so your water. And your kibble. So on my bike ride, I could hear the creek from a distance. So the water really is flowing. Yeah, usually there's not much water in there, so there's not much water flow, and it's pretty quiet. But yeah, today you could really hear it rushing. And I was wearing my neck gate. So in the summer I use it to protect the back of my head from the sun and the side of my head. But right now it's overcast and there's not much sun, so yeah. So the sun came out at like noon, I think, and then went away in the afternoon. But I found that using the neck gate actually kind of keeps my ears warm. So because it covers the ears, and so I struggle with wind chill sometimes when I'm biking in cold weather. So I found the neck gate's actually a little bit of a protection. So I was wearing it today, but it blocks some of the audio, the sound. It muffles everything. But I was still able to hear the rushing water from the distance. So because the park was closed, I ended up taking my alternate backup route again. But this time I decided to take a slight detour. So as I approach the kind of the top, there's actually a section where they've carved out a kind of a side dirt trail for pedestrians and cyclists and whoever. and it's offset away from the main road, or off the main road. It's wider than a normal sidewalk, and it's actually it's so this is going up a mountain or a hill, and well, the ground's not very level at all. And so the way they did this was they actually made the road, and then they kind of cut this trail, this very wide trail, kind of like it's a separate entity. So it actually kind of follows the road, but it doesn't follow the same elevation. So it's actually dug lower than the road at many points, and then eventually near the end, the trail kind of ramps up, and it has a steeper climb that gets back up to the where the road is. So it's kind of a nice offset because it's protected, so you don't have to worry about getting run over by cars. There's a nice, because there's a curb, and then hopefully, drivers won't drive off of it. If they do, they're gonna drive off like a little cliff and then crush people below. But hopefully, they're not gonna do something like that. Eat the balls. Scruffy ate almost everything. Oops. Oops. Yeah. I'll get the golf ball later. But anyway, yeah, because of all the rains, that trail is all muddy. I didn't want to ride up it. So I've seen from a distance that there are some other offset roads for the neighborhood houses. So they're little side streets basically, and service the houses on the hill, and they're off the main road. So I guess it makes sense. So people pulling out of the driveways, whatever, won't be pulling out into the main road, which is on a steep hill. That's an accident waiting to happen. So I didn't want to ride on the main road because I didn't want to dodge traffic. So I wanted to try to get on one of those side trails or side roads. And I'd never actually been on them, and I didn't know where the entrance was. So I took a detour thinking it would take me to that, and I picked wrong, and I actually had a really tough route today. As I was going up all these weird side streets that are really steep. Oh, Scruffy already left. Well, I guess that's it. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.